would you rather have a steady Dexcom graph all Christmas, like a lovely little straight line, but every time you bolus, your relative is giving you unsolicited medical advice? Or have a absolute roller coaster of a blood sugar, but no one's telling you how to cure your diabetes?
Roller coaster.
Me too.
If I have to hear about your diabetes cure,
Yeah.
get out of here.
Merry Christmas to everyone except for those trying to tell us how to cure our diabetes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And goodbye. Please stay on the line, and your Diabesties will be with you shortly.
You're listening to Hotline to Her. I'm Carson, your favorite Diabestie.
I'm Tini, your resident hot diabetic. We're here to help you feel like that girl beyond diabetes.
Woo!
Wow. Let's get a blood sugar roll call in before we get started.
Let's do it. I'm sitting at 88
Ooh,
straight across.
angel numbers.
Woo!
I love that. That's so beautiful. I
it.
am 121, slight arrow down, but this is
Okay.
good for me.
Okay.
I'm learning to sit with, like, is it the unknown of like an on the way down but still in range blood sugar?
Ooh, yeah.
Because I'm practicing trusting myself that my body's gonna stop, and I've given myself
Yeah.
the right amount of insulin.
I feel that. I tend to like watch my blood sugar. If it's like trending down, I'll watch it more closely, obviously. But I want to like try to step back and let it settle down. And it usually does for me sometimes.
Yeah, my issue
I
is
don't know.
like,
Sometimes it plummets. I don't know.
yeah, my issue is like reacting too early.
Yes, that's the thing.
And
That's
so-
it.
Yeah.
Girl, you hit the nail on the head. Reacting too early. I always do that. Just let it do its thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to scoot my chair in.
Okay.
Almost just fell. Okay.
Just not quite gonna. The way the tea rocked.
My tea almost spilled.
That was a close one.
We're both drinking some peppermint tea.
It's really lovely. Oh, by the way, if you match either of our blood sugars, let us know if we're twins.
Yeah, let us know.
We would love
What's
to.
your blood sugar? How are we doing out there?
Okay. Should we talk about some boundaries?
Yes, boundaries with the holidays, especially with the holidays coming up.
Yeah. Things get really chaotic.
Yeah.
Really chaotic. I love December though.
Same. I really do too. I love Christmas time. I love the holiday time just because it's all cozy, but I also think December is so like powerful.
Yes.
Empowering.
Powerful.
Yeah.
My life has changed so much when I've decided to like full send on December.
Ooh.
I know, like every
What we're doing
time.
right now.
What?
Like what we're doing right now.
Yeah, like what we're doing right now. Like every time I'm like, you know what, just run at it. Run at your dreams.
Yeah.
Like, why are you waiting till January?
So true.
You can just decide right now. And if that happens to be in the month of December, the last month of the year, even more power to you.
Love. I love it. Yeah.
So, but it's not always rainbows and sunshine.
Of course, with December comes obviously holidays, lots of, family, friend time, relative time, just being out of routine a little bit more and needing to set some boundaries, whether those be internal or external.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like boundaries are like kind of scary. Like
Yeah.
the term is scary because it
Intimidating.
Yes, intimidating is a good word. It always follows the back of like something negative, like, okay, I need to set a boundary because a negative thing happened.
Right.
But I feel like
yeah,
we're probably going to the same place here. Boundaries are really just like setting up structure for ourselves.
yes, especially when we're out of routine and, around people that we aren't normally around and doing things that are new and like the unknown. Boundaries really help me personally when I'm navigating unknown, especially with diabetes.
Yeah. So what are some of the boundaries that you're setting with yourself like this holiday season?
Yeah. I think for me, moving into the holiday season, it's going to be more of an internal boundary setting rather than, external and with other people or other things. But we talked a bit about my morning routine and what it means to me and how it sets me up for success throughout the day. And I feel like with the holidays, there's a lot of travel, there's a lot of change in routines and just being out of, the normal day to day. I think for me, an internal boundary I'm setting is my morning routine is going to be my non-negotiable. Like no matter where I am or what I'm doing, I'm going to work it in because it makes me feel good and it makes me show up better for myself and for my friends and family and those that I'm celebrating with. So
Wow, that's a good one.
What about you?
Yeah, mine has changed over the years. I felt like there was a season in my life where I really needed to set on my calendar everything that I was doing. It was really helpful for me to say, okay, these are the times I'm seeing my friends. These are the times I'm seeing my family.
Yeah.
These are the times that I need to rest and what I need to do for myself. I've really carried that boundary over the last like 3 years with myself. And so I know like now to the point where Friday nights, you're never going to see me on a Friday night.
Period.
That is my time. That is my rest time. I've worked hard all week.
Yeah.
And now I want that time for me. That's what I've learned.
I love that. So how are you going to continue that? What if you're, like with, I feel like there's a lot of, family time when it comes around the holiday season. How are you going to continue that rest and like you time with that?
Yeah, that's really good.
You're like, that's the $1 million question.
That is the $1 million question. It's something like I'm still trying to figure out.
Of course.
And like now more than ever, I have noticed like a bigger emphasis on my career.
Yeah.
I'm juggling a lot right now and I'm doing it well, but I haven't explored what it looks like when I do that, when I now have like 2 weeks of family time, because that's really something that like I have to be honest with my family about. Like,
right.
Here's when I am available, when we can hang out. And something that my siblings and I do, which is really nice, is we take a look at the times that I'm home.
Yeah.
We get to travel home for a week now. I'm really excited for that.
That's so
fun. I said,
yeah.
And over these 7 days, I'm like, okay, I need a plan. I need to know what you guys want to do when, because when we're not doing something on the calendar, I'm taking that time for me, whether it's rest or career or whatever that looks like. And so just communicating up front very clearly, I'm not available during these other times. And so it's like, am I resting or am I with family or am I working on career? Either way, I've set those boundaries that like ahead of time.
Yes.
I need to know what's going on because that's simply the way of my life right now.
That's so important. I love that. Good for you.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Okay. Shall we take our call-ins now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hi. First of all, I miss you guys, Tini, Carson. I've been thinking about it a lot and I, keep going back and forth about a few things. But I think what I have been thinking about a lot recently, and, I think a lot of diabetics struggle with depression and anxiety. What I've been thinking about a lot lately is, my seasonal depression and the holidays coming up. The holidays are a good time, but like seasonal depression after the holidays and just like the gloomy weather, that and like, the diabetic burnout, the decision fatigue, that kind of thing. Just like navigating those things together, I guess. Those are just kind of the things I've been thinking about lately. So that's my question, I guess. What advice would you guys offer to that? Again, I miss you guys. I love that you're doing this. I'm so excited to listen. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
And we love you.
We love you. Oh, so cute. And that's such a good question. Talking about burnout is so important, especially around the holidays, I would say.
I love burnout. No, I don't love burnout.
What?
No, I love the topic of burnout because I think it's real, like it's so nuanced.
Yeah.
And it's like really scary. It's like this big demon monster thing that
it is.
I feel like a lot of people think it's always going to come and like rear its ugly head.
Inevitable.
Yeah.
But you don't think it is inevitable?
No. And this is something Carson and I were talking about, I don't know, last week.
Yeah.
Like when the time changed, like when it starts getting darker and kind of in line with the seasonal depression. Like
for sure.
Seasonal burnout.
100%.
I've been a type 1 diabetic for 14 years and I went about 9 of those years every fall, winter season experiencing burnout and then not wanting to take care of my management and just like feeling miserable and ignoring it.
Yeah.
And then 5 years ago, I was like, enough.
Enough.
Like something has to change.
Yeah.
How can I stop this cycle.
Yeah, see, that's so interesting because I've only been diabetic for about 3 years. And I feel like each of those years I am similar to our caller. And I do experience like a bit of burnout and decision fatigue. My burnout usually comes around when I have, not so ideal blood sugars and I'm just kind of feeling like physically icky. And then it turns into like a mental burnout thing.
Yeah. And I think that's like kind of the first step in like identifying how do we stop burnout from happening. It's like knowing the patterns.
100%. Yeah, that's really good. Knowing your pattern of like when you can feel it coming on so you can kind of stop it in its tracks. So I think like that would be the first step, I guess, is identifying a pattern of if you can tell like when exactly your burnout is coming on so we can cut it.
Yeah, but like if you're in the weeds of it though, like it's too late. You're in the weeds of it.
Yeah. So what do you recommend for climbing out of the weeds if you're already in the burnout when you're already in it?
I mean, these are some things that I think I heard in your morning routine, like things that like really ground you and bring you back to you. And sometimes it's slow you down. Sometimes it's pull you out of the funk. Like only like I know when I'm in burnout, I need a hard awakening, like a hard shaking. And usually that comes from someone like sitting down with you, my bestie, and being like, this is so hard. This is what I'm dealing with. Like, what should I do?
Yeah.
And like, obviously you're not going to give me clinical advice, but sometimes like for me, it's kind of like a girl, wake up. But I know some people need like a softer approach.
Yeah. And I am one of those people
that needs softer approach.
Yeah, no, I think, and I think this is something that I've talked about with my therapist before too, is leading with self-compassion. In all aspects, but especially in seasons of burnout.
What are some of your tools that you use?
For me, self-compassion is like mental talk, but then also like acts of self-care as well.
I feel like journaling's a good one.
Yes.
Getting myself outside to see the sunlight.
I love the sun. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I love going on like mindfulness walks. No podcasts, no music, unless it's this podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
Unless it's Hotline to her, obviously.
Unless it's our voices in your ears, then it's okay. No, but I love going for mindfulness walks where it's like literally no distractions. And so no music, no podcasts, no anything. And you're just kind of like in your thoughts, which sounds really terrifying sometimes. But what I've noticed is that it kind of makes you just take a step back and like evaluate them a little bit more. And I usually come back feeling way more grounded and kind of like, instead of just like forcing that toxic positivity down my throat and being like, it's fine, like whatever, I like am allowing myself to take a step back, practice self-compassion and being like, yeah, okay, this kind of sucks right now, but I'm going to go on a walk, ground myself and do these things for myself because I know that will help me get out of these weeds.
Yeah, I agree. And it's important to remember these are all tools that you use at like different steps. Like Carson's not saying like, go out and do these 5 things right now. She's saying
no,
like,
absolutely not.
Put these in your toolbox and pull from them little steps at a time and like slowly approaching, okay, today I'm going to go on a walk and get some sunshine and hope that makes me feel better. Great. It made me feel better. Tomorrow I'm going to write out how I'm feeling. Great. That made me feel better. And day after day, you'll slowly start to feel better.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. It's like, how can we slowly return to ourselves? And that kind of like goes back to like me in the beginning needing a little bit of a wake up because that's how I return to myself. So I think what's really important though, especially around the holidays, burnout is like such a big topic. We could probably spend like 15 million hours here helping you come up with like ways to recognize it and hedge against it before it even comes on. And then like how to fight it if you're in step 1, step 2, the different phases of it, how to like pull yourself back to normal. I think the biggest thing for you, especially in the holiday season, is making sure you carve out that time to reconnect with you.
Yes. So important.
And sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and that goes into the boundaries. That goes into how you keep your boundaries for yourself, making sure, yeah, the holidays are happening. I'm already exhausted, but what can I do for me today? Because that's non-negotiable because that's going to help my health and my burnout.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Should we do the next call-in?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so hi ladies. When it comes to holidays, typically my boyfriend and I kind of split the time between our families. So this year we're going to his parents' house and like visiting his family the weekend before Christmas because he actually works on Christmas. So I will be spending Christmas with my family kind of by myself, which is totally fine. Usually when we have holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc., we both come from like big food families, so it's a lot of snacks and a lot of treats and a lot of, all kinds of stuff, which is not necessarily always a problem. It just does sometimes lead to the, well, do you think you need to eat that kind of comment, or should you be eating that, or my personal favorite is the like, we made this diabetes friendly, and I'm like, I don't want that. Like, they're usually not very good. And like, I appreciate the thought and I appreciate that they're like trying to look out for me. But I don't know, like what guys, like what advice do you guys have for when you've tried to educate people on diabetes of like, yeah, I can eat what I want, obviously in moderation, as long as I take insulin for it. And I, have all of these strategies in place to help with my blood sugars. Like, I don't need the, well, should you be eating that? Like, if I shouldn't be eating it, I wouldn't be eating, like, trust me to be an adult about my management. So like, any advice on when the reteaching of that lesson isn't quite sticking, of the, no, I'm good. Like, I can eat what I trust myself to eat. And like, I am an adult and I can make those decisions on my own without coming across as rude or disrespectful or, ungrateful for the check-in, or ungrateful for the fact that they tried making this like secondary meal that I've never asked for, but they think, they're trying their best, which I do appreciate. But any advice on just kind of how to navigate those conversations of, nope, I got this. Like, I do not need you to almost make decisions for me. So thanks.
That's a good question.
Yeah, we've still got some time ahead of the holidays.
Yeah.
I think what my biggest thing that I would be doing is like almost putting out like a PSA.
Yes.
Hey, so
ahead
excited.
of time.
Yeah, like I'm so excited to come home for the holidays. Please don't make anything extra for me. And since you've already said this before, I think what you might have to do is find ways to be creative about setting that boundary, even if it means you're lying. Like,
yeah, just say you're on a new management style.
Yeah,
and you don't need the diabetes friendly stuff anymore.
I think even if that means like, okay, do we need to like haul in the reinforcements? And for me, that would be like going to my mom and being like, right. Mom, please tell grandma not to make me anything else. Like, I'm good with.
My Dexcom. Sorry. My blood sugar's high right now.
It would be like, Mom, please tell grandma I don't need anything else. Like, I'm good with the regular food, and also make sure Aunt Susan gets that PSA as well.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You're like, spread the word. Thank you.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that like setting that boundary ahead of time is really going to be important and really going to help, like Tini said. And then I think also just knowing that I think a lot of people don't like change. If this has been the norm for like holidays past of them making you a diabetes friendly meal or whatever, I think that you can expect some pushback, but that doesn't mean that your boundary that you're setting is wrong. So I think like being aware and maybe expecting a little bit of pushback and like, oh, why don't you don't like this, or we've always done this in the past, like things like that. It may be possible that those will come up, but I think those just standing in your power and making sure that like that doesn't mean my boundary is wrong, and that doesn't mean I'm doing anything wrong. This is just a change for them.
That's a really good one. And I like that. You might have to have some like catchphrases in your toolbox.
Yeah.
Where like the lying to me, whatever, like to keep your boundary. And,
right.
And we say lying like respectfully, obviously, like you're not harming anyone by saying I have a new management style.
Exactly.
Don't make me extra food. But like when they come up to you and they try to hand you a plate of, I don't know, low carb stuffing, like you can just say like, oh, actually, I'm trying this new management style. Thank you so much for making this for me, but you won't need to make it anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe just take it on your plate this one last time and be really firm.
Yeah.
That's probably what my approach would be. And then the times following that, after you've been so clear that it's not necessary, that is when I would just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't eat that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or just be like, oh, I'm sorry. The other one is really like so much better. I think I'm going to go for that one.
After they made it?
Oh, maybe you shouldn't say that. Wait.
Actually, this tastes like garbage. What you just made for me is disgusting.
Wait, I was like, no, I'm trying to say you can say like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for like putting in all this time and effort. Of course, like obviously be kind and be appreciative because like everything they're doing is definitely out of good graces and like love. But you can say, I like the traditional recipe, or like this one is really good and like my blood sugars can handle it. Don't worry. And like I can handle it. So, and also you don't even have to say that. Just say like, oh, I think I'm going to go for the other one. But thank you so much for thinking of me.
Yeah. Yeah. And then especially when the can you eat that comments come in.
Yeah. That's
like,
so hard.
I think like we really have to pay attention to tone.
Yeah.
Intent. What are the other things? Like how many times it's already been asked? Like how many.
Who's asking it?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like there's multiple factors that go into this that depend on how you respond. Like if someone has never asked before and they truly, genuinely are a kind person and care about you and they ask, they might just be curious. But if it's someone that like has asked before, has told you shouldn't eat something that you're eating, like that's when I'm like, no. Like
or instead you're like, yeah, I can't eat
like
that.
Whatever. Yeah, like you just shut it down like really fast. Like that's where I'm like,
yeah, when you don't explain any further.
Right. So I think just knowing that, like, how can I be a kind human while still staying firm in my boundaries?
Of course.
And also understanding like staying strong in my boundaries is so important.
Yeah. And if you have pushback, that doesn't mean your boundary is wrong.
That's a good one.
Cool.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, we really appreciate you and we hope that you have a happy holiday.
Yeah. So that brings us to our wellness challenge for you.
Yay.
Okay.
And for us.
And for us too. Yeah, we're going to be doing this. So we know like around the holidays, things get really chaotic.
Hectic.
Very hectic.
But fun.
Yes, of course. And so we are challenging you to implement one self-compassion practice. And Carson is like self-compassion queen. Like she's been rattling off so many ideas for us this episode.
I have a self-compassion book, so.
Oh, yeah. That sounds really incredible. Like, so journaling.
Yeah.
Going on a walk.
Making yourself a cup of tea, coffee, even if it's literally just like more intentionally sipping your beverage. Like I know that sounds silly, but like if you just like intentionally sip your coffee and like take a moment for yourself, that's still having compassion for yourself instead of just like chugging your coffee in the morning. If you just take a moment, really just carving out a time for yourself.
Yeah, that is self-compassion. Or maybe it's positive self-talk in the morning, like in your bathroom mirror. Affirmations, really anything. And I would love some new tools. So when you do this, tag us.
Yeah, tag us on social and let us know so we can do it too. And we'll be doing this as well.
Yeah. What are you going to choose?
I think for me, I love my morning routine and I will be traveling a lot for the holidays, but I think a non-negotiable kind of like boundary that I'm going to set that has a lot of self-compassion rooted in it is that morning routine. So I'm going to, if that means having to wake up earlier or shift it a little bit, I'm still going to do it even on my travels, but like it's going to be a non-negotiable boundary rooted in self-compassion. And that morning routine will consist of like my tea, my sunshine, my skincare, stuff like that.
I love that.
What about you?
That's so good. Ooh, I think for me, a self-compassion practice can just be slowing down and giving myself grace because I am the queen of doing it all.
Yeah.
And sometimes things don't go as planned or you miss like the to-do list deadlines in your head. My to-do list is like 15 miles long.
Yeah.
And so of course,
She's long.
if you can't get it all done in one day, like I think for me, having that self-compassion and grace over the holidays, especially because I know my focus is going to be with spending time with my loved ones, knowing like, okay, I can shift things around to spend time with my loved ones. And this is still
100%.
this is still like a act of self-compassion and giving myself that grace. So
love it.
yeah,
Aww,
that's fun.
love it. Yay.
All right. Well,
We hope you have such a happy holidays.
yes, happy holidays. And thank you so much for listening.
Yay.
Yay.
Happy self-compassion.
Oh, happy self-compassion. That's a good one. My voice was like cracking in that one.
If you enjoyed this episode, write us a review.
Thank you for listening to Hotline to Her. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review. If you have a question or story you would like advice on, you can follow the link in our description and join our Hotline to Her community. We may just feature you in our next episode. Stay hot.
And chat soon. Should I be like serious?
Yeah.
Hotline to Her.
Put on your like commercial voice.
Hotline to Her is for educational and entertainment purposes only and reflects personal experience. It is not medical, mental health, or therapeutic advice.